In this house, 25 years ago, a child was given life.
Okay, so last week we talked about Carnival of Souls, and if it left you with the sort of inkling that you want more atmosphere and more creepiness in a movie, but perhaps you want it in color and perhaps you want a bit more violence in it, then I have the movie for you. Don't Go in the House is a 1980 psychological horror movie directed by Joseph Ellison. The plot deals with a mentally deranged man named Donnie who has a bit of an obsession with fire. He also has a bit of an obsession with setting things on fire, namely people. This is a result of trauma he suffered as a child, where his mother would hold his arms over an open flame whenever she felt he did something wrong. Now as an adult, he hears his mother's voice, who prompts him to seek female victims and burn them alive. Okay, so there's definitely a good and a bad side to this movie, and I think I'll start with the good side first. This is definitely an unnerving movie, and gives you a constant sense of unease. The way Donnie functions is so robotic, you can't help but feel weirded out by him. And I love the room where he keeps all the burnt corpses of his victims in. It's a nice living room and a bunch of comfortable chairs. It really does set a creepy atmosphere for the audience, and the scenes of Donnie being abused by his mother are unnerving as all get out. And this is really what makes a great antagonist or villain in a movie, is one that you sympathize with, because we've seen his backstory and we know how messed up it was. But now let me get into the bad part of the movie. This feels like a complete ripoff of the movie Maniac. Now, both these films came out around the same year, and I'm not exactly sure which came first as far as a script being written and put into production. And for all I know, it could be a complete coincidence, but I really think it was banking off the success of Maniac. If you haven't seen that movie, it also deals with a mentally unstable man going around killing women, but just not burning them. And this also was brought on from trauma caused by his mother, and he also hears voices. But instead of burnt bodies in his house, he keeps mannequins scattered all around his room. The endings of both these movies are also almost completely similar to each other. This is all in all not a bad movie, but I can see why it often gets overlooked. There were also some problems in the production of the original title, which was The Burning, but there's also a much more popular movie of that same title around the same year, so I'm guessing they had to switch it to Don't Go in the House, which is a bit more generic, and I can see why it got swept under the rug a bit. Thanks so much for watching, and next time we meet, I think I'm going to delve into a bit more of a classic movie. I don't really dig the contemporary stuff too much, and I think it'll be a movie that lies a bit more on the schlocky side of things. So I'll see you later.